Good evening, and welcome to the 12th and final FSTS graduation of 2020. So far, we've graduated 206 frontline supervisors, but tonight we celebrate the graduation of 13 supervisors, and I couldn't be more proud. Now you guys have the difficult part, right? You guys went through class for 2 weeks, and now you have to take what you learned from class and take it back to the operation. And it's going to be easier said than done, but it's no different than when you work out, right? You go to the gym. These last 2 weeks, if you went to the gym to get in shape, you're not going to be in shape in just those 2 weeks, right? So this is going to be the same thing. Day after day, you're going to go into work, and you're going to work out, and you're going to look in the mirror, and you're not going to see results. And the next day, you're probably going to go into work, and you're going to work out, and you're going to look in the mirror, and you're not going to see results. But day after day, you're eventually getting better and stronger. And after 6 months or 9 months, when you take a look at where you started from and where you are now, you're going to see a huge difference. And that's what you guys remember. You guys have to take this every single day and keep working at it. Don't forget what we've learned over the last 2 weeks. Remember the difference between leading and management, right? You lead people and manage tasks. Manager is more of an appointed title, but leader is more of a role model, right? That everybody else wants to try to get to and lead to. Remember the importance of leading all your employees, not just the 80%. If you include everybody, you actually get a workforce that is 50% more productive. Remember the importance of being fair and consistent. Lisa Grubb came in and talked about not being lenient on the people that are real good and 1 minute late and picking on the people, or even 5 minutes late and then picking on the people that are 1 minute late just because they're the least best in your area. So it is important, very, very much so, to remain consistent and not lenient. Remember to engage with all your employees, right? You need to build that special bond with each and every one of them. Remember, the employees won't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Remember what Norman taught us about the 7 habits of highly effective UPSers, and plan and prioritize. And don't forget to sharpen your sword at any given chance. And then last but not least, the class wouldn't be the same without the Worldport management people coming in and giving presentations, right? So they juggle their schedules, things pop up, special projects pop up, shipments pop up, early start times pop up, but they come in and they give the presentations, and it keeps me from boring you guys to death with PowerPoint presentations. Special thanks to Jeff Semenik and Jason Foote, and could please let's give one last final round of applause for Norman coming in and dedicating his time. And then last but not least, another person that I'd like to thank each and every class is Laura, behind the scenes. She actually does a lot of the juggling when presenters can't make it, and she makes it look effortless, and the class wouldn't be the same without her. Laura?
Thank you, James. So we've had a fun 2 weeks. It's over. Now it's time to start a new path. So tonight I want to talk to you about just one thing before we start graduation. I'll start with a quote. If serving is below you, then leadership is beyond you. So I want to talk about being a servant leader. We've talked a lot about your people and about leading your people and building relationships with your people, but we need to be a servant leader. First, I'm going to talk about 2 things. First is put others' needs first. You need to put your employees first. Not the numbers, not the packages, but your employees, your people. You need to listen to them. Go out there every night, listen to what they need from you. Listen to what they want. And they'll work better for you if you do that. Get to know them. We talked tons about relationships and the importance of getting to know your people on a personal level. Get to know them. Find out what makes them tick, what makes them happy, why they're here. And then take care of them. Get them the help they need. Give them breaks. Don't abuse your people. Don't just use them. But build those relationships and make them the asset that they truly are. The second thing I want to talk about is developing your people. Continually train and teach your people every night. No matter if you have 20-year employees, there's something new that they can learn. Teach them a new area. Teach them what you do. Train them on your job. Give them more responsibility. Be a mentor to them. Make your people better every night. A lot of times as leaders, we think we need to hide the things we know. Well, if I know it, nobody else does, it makes me special. That's not leadership. Leadership is taking the things you know and making it easier for somebody else. Let's let your employees get a step up, a step ahead by telling them what you know, not making them go through that. You've already been through it. So just step up and teach them those things. Let them lead. Let your people take the lead. It's about making those around you better. That's true leadership. So that's truly what will make you a better leader, is making those around you better. So tonight I'm going to leave you with a story. It is out of our legacy book. This was from Jim Casey. It's called A Helpful Man. He said, some years ago, we all gathered at a motel outside of a fair-sized town, preparing for hearings in an interstate application for operative rights. They were trying to get more rights within the United States. And then Jim Casey was with us. We were seated in a large parlor, which was chilly and a little drafty. As the evening wore on, my throat became scratchy, and I was worried about getting a cold that would interfere with the presentation of the case. He had to get up and he had to talk, and he was worried that if he couldn't talk, he couldn't present his case. I mentioned the fact that it would be good if there were any cough drops around. There were none. A few moments later, Jim disappeared. Close to an hour later, he returned with several packages of cough drops. He had walked a mile or so up the main highway to the nearest store and had brought the cough drops back for me. When I remonstrated with him about having walked so far at night on a dangerous highway, he said, if there's any way I can help other than just sitting around, why wouldn't I do it? Any of us who can help the company get rights ought to do it. And if the cough drops help you win, and I can get the cough drops, then I ought to be the one. He was the CEO of the company. Yet, and I talked to you the other day about he couldn't drive, he didn't have a vehicle, but he as the CEO got up and he walked in the dark at night to get cough drops. And sometimes I think as leaders, we like, that's below us, or that's not my job. But as a true leader, whatever makes UPS, whatever makes your area and your people better, that's what you should do. And so I just want to leave you with that story as an example of what leadership looks like. So again, congratulations. It's been a fun 2 weeks. And so now we're going to start graduation. Okay? Kaylin, she got a perfect PCM. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kaylin Hill. I'm from Export Holds. One of the many things that I'm going to cherish from this class and take with me out into my sort would be the components of the 3x5 method. The components, of course, being employees, supervisor, and company. This entire class has taught me that above all else, we need to build a foundation of trust and relationships with our people. Using the 3x5 method has shown me that when we consider our teammates' point of views and we relate them better to ours, then we can build a foundation on our liked interests and experiences. It also allows us to explain our point of view and the company's point of view to better understand how employees and supervisors equate to the bigger picture. I will be taking it with me not only in my time in SORT, but my time out of SORT. Thank you all for listening.
Katherine, she got a perfect test score, was on the winning competition team, and got the Jim Casey Legacy Award. Congratulations.
Hello, my name is Katherine Hudson. I'm from One Day West End, Wing Bravo outbound. One of the biggest things that I'm taking away from this experience is that leadership is not about perfection. It's not about having a certain trait or a certain gene or one certain thing that makes a leader. We are not all in a cookie cutter mold. Leadership is about fighting. It's about every day acknowledging that we can be better. It's about every day taking personal inventory and seeing what you can improve on. It's about inspiring others to do the same and bringing people up with you. This has been a wonderful experience, and I'm very glad I got to know each one of you, and I look forward to more experiences here at UPS. Thank you.
Sydney, she got a perfect test score and a perfect PCM. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name name is Cade. I work in Next Day Small Sort Secondary. One thing I learned from FSTS, one of the many things I learned from FSTS is responsibility. We not only have to be responsible for ourselves, but for our people and for the customers that we give service to every single day. Thank you.
Brooklyn, she got a perfect test score and a perfect PCM. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Brooklyn Atherton. I work in Next Day Small Sort Secondary. One of the many things that I'll be taking with me from my experience in FSTS is how important to establish and build good relationships. Doing so will allow me to succeed with my employees, my coworkers, my own management team, and with the company itself. Thank you.
Jacob, he got FSTS Most Improved. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Jacob Pruitt, and I'm with Building and Systems Engineering. So, Lord knows that I've never been the best at communication, and being a part-time soup for a year before this, I didn't really know how to talk well with my employees. But after this, I've learned how to communicate with them much better, and I hope to build that team back up again. Thank you.
Brice, congratulations.
Good evening, I'm Brice, and I'm in Small Sort International, and one thing I'm taking away from this class is a newfound confidence in myself and that I can be better for my employees, and also a much greater appreciation for the company and just that this class was available to us. Thank you.
Desmond got perfect test score and FSTS perfect PCM. Congratulations.
Good evening. I'm Desmond and I work in Great Lane Outbound. FSTS has taught me a lot about how employees as frontline soups and how invested UPS is in their people, especially us as frontline soups. I feel like they do what they can to set us up for success. For instance, putting us through this training for 2 weeks, which is normally 3 weeks. They allow us to learn much about the company. They bring in speakers. They allow us to learn about opportunities that they offer. I feel like they're really trying to shape our future, which in turn helps shape the future of UPS. Thank you.
Garrett had a perfect test score and also voted most improved. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Garrett and I work in One Day Fueling. One of the many things that FSTS has taught me is that your communication with management is key for your career progression. FSTS and all the presenters that came in and spoke with us showed me that if you have any aspirations of moving up or gaining experience in any other areas, speak to your management team. Ask them for help, setting up job shadows, looking for job opportunities. Ask what you need to do to make progress towards your goal. They won't know how to help if you don't communicate with them. Closed mouths don't get fed. Thank you.
Dylan got a perfect test score, a perfect PCM, was the Knowledge Bee winner, and also won the competition team. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Dylan Erwin. I work in One Day Great Lane. One of the many things that FSTS has taught me over these past 2 weeks is that one of the most important aspects of our company is relationships. Without our relationships, we will not be able to accomplish what we need to. This goes beyond just of our employees, but also of our customers and with other members of management. Thank you.
Taylor had a perfect test score. Congratulations.
Hello, I'm Taylor Leatherman and I work in One Day Wing C Outbound on Posse 7 South. One of the many things that I'm going to take away from this class is how important relationships are, as everyone has said. Not only has it taught me to build relationships inside of UPS, but I'm going to take that knowledge to my area and as I further my career. Thank you.
Nathan. Nathan had a perfect test score and was also part of the winning competition team. Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Nathan Brinager from Next Day Southport Unload. FSTS has been a great experience. I've learned many skills about leadership and communication. They're not only going to help me in the operation, but are going to carry me through my career and through my life. I'm very thankful for this experience. Thank you.
Jerry, congratulations.
In 1907, the company that would later be known as UPS was founded. Over 100 years later, a dozen full-time supervisors promoted the 13 people in this room. Since those promotions, stock prices have hit all-time highs. I do not believe in coincidences. While we've been in FSTS, the stock price has dropped a little bit, likely because we haven't been in the operation. This is a good time to invest though, because next week we will return to our areas with new skills and knowledge thanks to our guest speakers and 2 wonderful instructors. With that being said, FSTS class of November 2nd to November 12th, give yourself a hand, because in the words of Jeezy, oh God, why'd you go so hard? Look at what you've been through. You deserve an applause.
And now with tonight's legacy presentation is Katherine. Katherine.
I'll begin with a reading from our partnership legacy. If you analyze yourself as you are analyzed by others, you will find answers to the questions having a bearing on your future. In appraising yourself and your opportunities for success, always remember that you cannot be successful entirely through your own efforts. All of us, if we are to accomplish anything worthwhile, will do it largely through the help and cooperation of the people who work with us. We must help others help us. This advice is given to you from my own experience. In my own 20 years in business, I have learned that I could do very little alone. Whatever I have done has been made possible only by the reason that I have been helped by my associates. And this, incidentally, is an appropriate time and place grateful to acknowledge that assistance. It has come from many of you who are present and from many of you who are far away. Yes, indeed, it has been a great and uncommon privilege to have the support of so many great and uncommon people. Success is dependent on several factors. First, we must invest our time in worthwhile endeavors. We must invest our time in ourselves, and we must invest our time in others. As for our endeavors, it's our responsibility to define our values. We must know what we stand for and have a strong belief system. We must identify pursuits that are in line with those values and pursue them wholeheartedly. Additionally, it is our responsibility to find organizations, companies, and businesses that have the same values that we do and dedicate our time and effort to pushing those companies forward. As for ourselves, we must devote our time and energy into the maintenance of our physical, mental, and spiritual health. It's our responsibility to keep moving and keep going forward so that we can be the leaders to the people who follow us. We must invest in our education and strive to be lifelong learners. Only through this can we achieve innovation and success. We must not be afraid of our failures, for they are what makes us stronger. And we must strive for perfection, but be okay when we come up short and learn how to analyze those shortcomings and grow from them. And as for others, as Jim Casey said, none of us would be where we are today without the help of people around us. Our friends, family, mentors, teachers, professors, co-workers, they are what have brought us here today. We must empathize, inspire, cultivate, and motivate the individuals that are around us, because their success is on our hands, just as our success was in theirs. I leave you with this. You have a very limited amount of time here at UPS, and you have a very limited amount of time in your life remaining. I implore you, please invest that time wisely. Invest in organizations that will invest in you, invest in yourself, and invest in others. Through this, we will all see our own personal success, and as a generation, we will achieve greater. Thank you.
Katherine, thank you very much. Jerry, I fully expect when you guys get that back in the operation for that stock price to bounce back up again. I can't wait for that to help my 401k and my retirement plan. Thank you guys for being a great class. Graduation's now over. Give yourself one last round of applause. Go have some fun, guys.